Hey guys, check it out. This is what we're going down today. When was the last time you saw one of those, huh? Hey, today we're talking about exactly that. Winding back a little bit before the end of the year, which is a few days here, in a matter of a couple of days, and just wind down a little bit. So when 2018 comes knocking at your door, you're ready to go and fully engage with yourself. Now, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the last video, but last time I gave you guys three things to do, right? Uh, and I also wanted to touch bases a little bit about the whole cancer thing that's been happening in this past year. And then also want to share you guys a little trick that can move you forward in the next couple of days before January 1st, right? So the last three things, last time we talked about three things that I wanted you guys to try. One of them was to do find five people to go and be thankful and grateful for what they've done for you or with you this past year. The other thing was to find 10 things that you can celebrate that happened to you or that you were part of this past year. So it's all about celebrating, kind of call it a pre warm up party to the New Year's party, right? And the last thing was to pick three things, that you want to do actively to rejuvenate, to refresh, to kind of push that reset button as part of your kind of end of the year winding down into the new year, right? But today I want to share you guys because I've been spending, this is kind of like what I call my blue sky week, where I spend time reviewing. You guys can see here is the roadmap. I do one of these every year. And it was interesting enough because I take my entire year here, so you guys can see, and you guys can ask me for a copy if you want one. And I pretty much dream big, 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 big. Nothing is impossible, right? And then I just kind of chunk it out, and you hear me say that word over and over in 2018, chunking and just kind of splitting things down, sprinting and going hard. But I kind of chunk things down so I can get after things. Now, there's good and the bad. I kind of dream big, and some of the dreams came true because they went from dreams to goals, from goals to projects, from projects to done, which was great. So the good thing is that a lot of the key things that happen, business, personal, spiritually, most of them happen in the personal and the spiritual side, which I'm very, very glad. I usually make about 10 on this side column here. I just made 10 and I got 8 out of the 10 as far as the spiritual and the personal. The business one, which I'll get to that in a little bit, I only got 4 out of the 10 things done. Now, here's the kicker, especially if you are a manager or if you run some sort of a business or whatnot, you know that if you personally don't feel jazzed and energized and healthy at an emotional and mental level, you really don't perform well in your business. I'm excited about 2018 with the business because I have spent quite a bit of time in 2017 working on my spiritual and the personal side. So kudos to me. Anyway, but let's touch really quick about this cancer thing. Just recently, we learned that one of our closest family friends on Nikki's side just passed away to cancer. And in the past, if you guys know it, a lot of incidents and clients and their relative, we have managed and coped with them and sympathized to win over cancer. We have never, this is the first time, it was this week that I realized, first time, firsthand, close to home, that we lose somebody to cancer. We have a lot of breast cancer survivors, we have cervical cancer, we have, you name it, throat cancers, but this is the first time that we lose somebody. So it's been kind of a tough week here and afar for us to kind of realize this is the first time, and it's a kind of a new arena for us, especially for us being in the motivating and energizing others. So it's kind of different to be on the other side. So, but what that brings me to is one of the things that one of my mentors shared with me last week about spending this time of my blue sky week. Blue sky because we kind of dream big and dreamy, right? And one of the things that he encouraged us, his students, was to think 6 people, 4 to 6 people that will be carrying your casket when you die. So it's all about reverse engineering, right? So think on your deathbed, on your funeral ceremony, whatever you call it, who are those 4 or 6 people that you think you want to carry your casket? Interesting, right? Or that you want them to be reading at the eulogy. I think that's how you pronounce it at your funeral. Who you want it to be reading. And then once you get those 4 or 6 people, be very, very intentional to spend quality time with them consistently in the new year, developing that relationship and gets you closer from the inside out, which that's on my map to do. So today, what I wanted to share with you guys, besides that, is given this fact that we're getting closer to the new year, I want you guys to think the possibilities that you have once you wind down and kind of get this energy. I want you guys to kind of be armed and ready, not just to fall off the wagon at the end of January. I want you guys to really, chunk and just kind of roll your sleeve and get after one thing. So pick one focal point. Okay, just kind of think like you're rearranging your house. You don't want to do the entire house, right? You want to pick the living room or the entertainment room or the kitchen or the master bedroom or the master bathroom, whatever. Just pick one focal thing, roll your sleeve, and just go dig after it. But when you do, I want you to think first before you choose. Not only the thing, the why you want to do it, but just kind of pick it because you must do it. And I'm going to make it more clear. There's a difference between I must versus I should. It's like a lot of people, you will look at your kitchen and you're like, I should really get new appliances, or I should really get cabinets. But you really don't. But however, when your garbage disposal bust and you got a bunch of smelly stuff going around, you must change that dispenser. It becomes a priority, becomes a focal point. And that's how I want you guys to think for the first, 2 to 3 months of the year, from January through March, maybe a spring break. For those of you guys that got kids in college, what is your one focal point that you must focus on? And it can be spiritual, financial, health, wellness, adventure, vacation. If you really grind all year in 2017 and you didn't take any time off, this might be a good time for me time getaway. But just pick one focal point, okay? And then once you pick that thing, I want you to chunk it up in 4. There I go again with the word chunk it up. Chunk it up in 4 different things that must happen, and again, just kind of be very detailed. I must get a second kitchen or whatever, a backup kitchen while the garbage disposal gets fixed, or whatever that is, whatever it is that you're picking. Chunk it up in 4 and then dig it a little deeper. Okay? Now, I shared with you guys earlier about the tracker app that I use on my phone. If you haven't looked at the video before, but you'll see on mine that I show you guys, I do my daily bread reading. I do lifting weights, which I rarely lift weights. I do a lot of intervals and circuit and cardio. So it's a tracker that is set up on your phone here, like a Google reminder, and you check it, and it makes you not only accountable, but it shows you visually that you're compliant. How likely, if you did it out of the 10 days, like I put myself 10 days at a time, if I did it 7 days, 6 days, 4 days, so I can figure out what I need to do different times, different days, whatever it is. Okay, so work on that thing. Okay, if you didn't do the 3 things from the other day, go after it and do it, because I really, really believe that this year, given that 2017 was such a sucky year, personally and globally, I know this year, from what we learned in 2017, we're gonna just craft a better year. So I want you to be ready and energized for it. So wind down a little bit and get ready for 2018. Okay, I'll catch you guys tomorrow before we head up to the mountain and check on you. But in the meantime, just leave comments, share whatever questions or comments you want. And we're gonna go a little bit deeper into this chunking before the first week of the year, which is next week. So just catch up. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.